Arcturian Group, January 4, 2015. Dear ones, we send wishes for a happy new year, and add that a year of the new it will be, for you have already cleared much of the energy that held you in bondage to an old state of consciousness, and this will allow the new to unfold. Never believe that your efforts to learn and express love are wasted or insignificant, for every spark of light and awareness serves to decrease the density of a general world consciousness based in duality and separation. Each day the light of the world is becoming brighter and lighter because of the unfolding awareness of so many. All are in and of the one, and therefore the light you acknowledge within yourself, you also acknowledge for the world. Love is the key to everything, dear ones, love of self and love of everything in your life. Love every aspect of your lives, the nice as well as the not so nice, for every experience can act to bring you into deeper spiritual awareness if you allow yourself to dig and discover the beliefs behind the experience. It is impossible to truly love anything until you allow self to love self. A consciousness selective with regard to love, one that excludes self, reflects the third-dimensional beliefs of duality and separation. A consciousness that excludes self can never express love in its highest sense because it does not yet contain it. Concepts and beliefs about love in an unawakened society are usually based on sexual attraction, power, and the need to feel loved, all of which are relentlessly promoted through the media, experts, family, friends, etc. Only love, which is the recognition, realization, and action of a state of consciousness reflecting the one self, will shift world consciousness into its next level of evolution. Many say, "Oh, but you don't know the awful things I have done. I could never love myself because I am not worthy of love." Others may say, "I was always told and treated as a child that I was unworthy or unlovable, and I just can't let that go." Yes, you can. It is time to stop continually feeding the issues, beliefs, concepts, memories, and whatever still holds you in bondage. These things have only the power you feed them, and you who read these messages are evolved enough at this point to acknowledge this, allowing any victim mentality of the past to cease and dissolve into the nothingness that it is. This is what clearing old energy is all about. The more intensely you may experience something, the more it is spiritually begging to be looked at and cleared. Clearings are graduations, and not negative experiences. Lovingly allow them by getting to the root of your belief system, no matter how physically, emotionally, or mentally painful the process may be. Once something is cleared spiritually, it is gone. You have uprooted it and not just cut off a branch that will re-sprout at some later date. The more an individual focuses on human problems, the more these issues become firmly embedded within consciousness. Be alert to your thoughts as you go about your day. There comes a time in everyone's spiritual journey when it is necessary to surrender everything that no longer serves his evolution. Much of what you considered to be who and what you are, is now changing. The new you is moving into a new state of consciousness, but it cannot happen while grasping tightly to the old. This is what is meant in the Bible story of not putting new wine into old wineskins. You are not your past actions, whether of lifetimes long ago or this one, even if that lifetime was filled with seeming errors. Learn to love the mistakes you have made along the way and give gratitude for them, because this is how you learn and grow. It is only the third-dimensional consciousness that affixes blame and shame. These messages are being read by those ready to take the next steps. You. Those not ready, do not resonate with these words. Bless and love everything in your life, always remembering that every soul makes pre-birth choices regarding the necessary evolutionary experiences he needs and is evolved enough to handle. An example is that many who experience harsh and abusive childhoods have specifically chosen that particular situation in order to activate and once and for all resolve issues of low self-esteem and self-loathing, or to resolve some karmic relationship that has been in place for many lifetimes. Many have not been able to clear the more deeply buried issues until now, when the higher dimensional energies are flowing intensely, giving them the strength and guidance to do the work. Some issues needing to be cleared will not come to conscious awareness until the individual is ready, and this is determined by their higher self. Clearings of more intense and deeply held energies often clear in layers. So if you have done the work to clear and resolve something and find that lo and behold it is back, just know that you are now ready to clear the next layer and will know when it is finished. Many who struggle with some physical, emotional, or mental difficulty are only now evolved enough to move through and resolve issues behind it, usually from lifetimes ago. Love and honor the courage of those who struggle, dear ones. For many that seem handicapped in some way are old and wise souls who chose their situation in order to quickly evolve, learn something. Often it is an evolved soul who chooses to be born handicapped or stillborn in order to assist in the evolution of the parents. Love does not mean you must have emotional feelings for everyone. Feelings and emotions are often tied to human concepts of love. Love is the recognition, acceptance, and honoring of self, others, and everything as spiritual, for there is nothing but God. Period. It is only three-dimensional beliefs of separation that cause everything in the world to seem separate. Look in the mirror each day and say to yourself, I love you. Warts and all, I love you. Love the warts, for they are you and you are not separate from the one. Mankind is on the brink of entering into a time of awakening, leaving behind that spiritually immature consciousness filled with false ideas and untruths. The world has been asking and praying for this, and yet remains reluctant to embrace it, afraid of leaving behind what is familiar no matter how unpleasant. This, now, is the time for trust, trusting that the dance is finished, following a certain ritual, book, or guru is finished. This, now, is the time to accept that you are it. That which you have been desiring, searching for, praying for, you already are, but it is up to each individual as to whether or not they accept this. Free will allows everyone to play in the dream for as long as they wish, but the door is open now for those who choose to enter in. Let the new year of 2015 be one of celebration in the midst of whatever occurs. Celebrate each day, giving gratitude for all things. Celebrate your awakening, and celebrate who you are by no longer giving power to the illusions of the third-dimensional belief system. Starve these pictures of their power through your recognition of divine light within each and every individual, regardless of what they are reflecting outwardly. Everyone is learning, but the lessons of others need not become yours. 2015 is going to be a year of awakening and change for many. Those holding tightly to old concepts and beliefs will find themselves removed from them one way or another, and it is much easier to make the choice yourself rather than have the universe do it for you. Love yourselves, dear ones. Love is our message today and always. Love is the key to all things. Love is the answer you seek and is all there is. Love everything. We are the Arcturian Group. Arcturian Group, December 21, 2014. Dear ones, happy winter solstice. The energy of this particular solstice is bringing with it change and an energy that is being powerfully experienced by many as a deeper sensitivity to all things around them. Our Christmas offering is a message of peace and joy, which we lovingly flow to you and which you then can flow as your gift to others. The words peace and joy are seen everywhere at Christmas time, and yet few take them seriously, instead seeing them as nice words on a Christmas card. Make true peace your gift to the world every day of the year. True peace between countries or even individuals will never be fully achieved through treaties or contracts because the substance of peace, a consciousness of peace, is not present. Peace is a state of consciousness that recognizes, respects, and accepts the oneness of life, whether that other is plant, animal, or person. Only true peace can manifest true freedom, the freedom to be who and what you are. Peace is the natural result of a consciousness of oneness, which in its purest sense is unconditional love. As long as separateness remains the dominant world consciousness, there can never be true peace. Peace both within and without is not attained through power struggles, war, or violence. War has never achieved true and lasting peace, but simply lulls the violence while allowing it to pop up somewhere else. At this time, the substance of which peace is formed is not yet fully present in world consensus consciousness. The true and lasting peace that mankind seeks and preaches, especially at Christmas time, will only manifest as the impersonal world consciousness shifts into a realization of oneness. This is happening now as each person awakens, for every spark of light dissolves a bit of old energy within a dense universal consciousness. This will bring about the change you seek. Send your gift of peace to the unawakened who seek to resolve unhappiness and frustration through violence. Send peace to Gaia through recognition and loving action regarding all of her kingdoms. The animal kingdom was never created for humans to use and abuse. Animals also live many lifetimes and are here to learn and evolve while assisting mankind with unconditional love, companionship, and healing. Even animals termed wild are worthy of respect and peace, for they too are suffering from the world consciousness of duality and separation. Never doubt there will come a time when the lion will lie down with the lamb, for there is no discord in higher dimensional energy. Peace is what you experience when lending a loving hand where needed. Peace is that you feel as you walk through a quiet forest, or closely examine the perfection of a flower. Peace is that which you experience when you look into another's eyes and recognize divinity. Peace is yours to have or not have, the choice is yours, dear ones, for all have free will. As you claim peace for yourselves, you are then able to flow it to others. Some will say, I cannot find peace because of my situation. Peace ever present and is never dependent upon outer circumstances, for it is a quality of the divine. Personal peace comes through the realization that I can never be separated from who and what I am, regardless of any outer circumstances. Life on Earth can indeed be a struggle until one day a certain evolutionary point is reached and the difficult experiences slow or finish completely, because the student is now ready to learn and be taught from within. No one can separate you from peace, dear ones, ever. It is your birthright. It is ignorance that acts to seemingly separate an individual from his good, a good that is often simply a concept. Joy is a facet of peace, an inner sense of lightness in spite of outer conditions. Joy knows I am, I always will be, and I always have been, and in joy there is no fear of death. Joy allows an individual to laugh and love and enjoy the pleasures of being in human form through the realization that these things represent the spiritual realities of completeness, wholeness, and oneness. Joy is the energy closest to divine and affects everything you do and say. Without conscious thought, an energy field filled with joy can act as a healing balm. Even those who are consciously unaware of spiritual truth will experience something when coming into contact with energy field filled with light and joy. This will cause fearsome and uplifting in others depending upon their state of consciousness. Allow yourselves to experience joy. There remain many falsehoods among religious groups who teach that one must suffer in order to be spiritual. There are still those who believe that self-torture and sacrifice are paths to holiness. These teachings are very old and very false, and it is long past time for them to be dissolved into the nothingness that they are. The divine is peace, joy, completeness, wholeness, and is therefore who and what you already are. There is no dreariness or sadness in the higher realms, dear ones. Only ignorance has given birth to the discords and suffering that mankind has experienced for so long, which some still need in order to learn. peace and joy are available to be experienced while on Earth at any time by any individual choosing to give up the limitations of duality and separation and live out from truth. Claim and enjoy the experience of true peace and joy at this time and forever, dear ones. Merry Christmas. In peace and joy, we are the Arcturian Group. Arcturian Group, December 7, 2014. Dear ones, we welcome you. In this time of love and celebration, you are being pressured from all sides to believe that more is better, that more gifts, more parties, and more activity will equal happiness. Resist becoming too involved in the commercialism, for you are well aware at this point that more does not equal happiness. Outside pressures are tugging at your emotions to buy, suggesting that the bigger and better the gift, the more love you will show and receive. You are being bombarded with suggestions telling you that in order to be a good parent, friend, partner, son or daughter, you must give expensive gifts. Remain awake, selecting your gifts with care and thought while using intuition to seek the gift that would speak most to the person. That is, be guided from within rather than from without. Keep things simple, and allow the gifts you give to reflect love with an understanding of the receiver. Never allow giving a gift to be just a duty, for these gifts will carry the negative energy you feel. Christmas, in its truer sense, is not about the birth of a male child named Jesus, but as a material sense of the birth of the Christ that takes place within. Christmas takes place within each and every person at some point in the spiritual journey. Many of you are experiencing that now. Only a humble state of consciousness, the stable, one rid of false ego trappings and beliefs, is able to birth the Christ light. Jesus tried to give this message to the world 2,000 years ago, but the unawake majority of that time were unable to understand and instead then and even now believe that only Jesus personally represented the message. All have within them a Christ child waiting to be born. The world in general believes Christmas to be either a seasonal holiday time for parties and gifts, or it believes it to be the birth of the only Son of God, Jesus, and must be celebrated accordingly. Neither these beliefs correct. The outer trappings of Christmas are only symbols for the true Christmas that only takes place within. We see many struggle to create popular concepts of Christmas, even when they may no longer resonate with them. If you are tempted with guilt over not being able to provide the biggest and best for those you love, quickly recognize these suggestions to be concepts of a third-dimensional belief system wherein retailers believe they must promote and struggle aggressively in order to financially succeed. The Arcturian Group wishes to speak about the energy that manifests as a sense of separation. At this seasonal time, emotions of separation are often more deeply experienced. Christmas time brings to mind for many memories of past family gatherings. These memories often include only the fun and richness, never the discords of an earlier time. Photos, pictures, songs, films, etc. that shout from the media and stores promote the old-fashioned Christmas, which serves to activate in many a fruitless longing and sadness due to a perceived inability to recreate this imaginary old-fashioned Christmas for themselves and their families. Because of this, many become exhausted with the effort, and believe themselves to be failures at being the perfect mom, dad, brother, son, daughter, parent, friend, etc. These images are concepts, dear ones, just concepts. As awakened ones, you are ready to refuse to buy the package. As we have said so many times, let intuition guide you. If you no longer wish to celebrate as you have in the past, say so. If you choose to do things differently, do it. This is how you reclaim your innate power. We are not advising that you avoid all celebrations. Enjoy those that resonate with you, for joy is the energy closest to the divine. We simply remind you to be alert to the hypnotism of the season, urging you to continue traditions that may no longer be your state of consciousness. Intuitively consider what and how you choose to celebrate. The higher resonating energy field of just one awakened individual can lighten the energy of a whole room. Lovingly attending an event out of respect for the host can be an expression of unconditional love. Use discretion in making your choices, and listen to the voice of your intuition regarding celebrations, traditions, gifts, etc. Live silently and secretly in the world, but not of it. All are in and of one divine consciousness, and because this consciousness is omnipresent, there exists nothing else from which anything could be formed. If there were something outside of the One, you would not have an omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient God. The choice is yours to accept or not. There exists only one consciousness, and therefore every living thing is in and of it. It is all there is. The only substance, law, idea, etc. manifesting itself in infinite form and variety. You can never be separated from what you are and are thus never separate from other forms of it. The world consists of many individuals of differing states of awareness, and this appears to human eyes as separation rather than individuality. We speak of the true self, the spiritual essence of everyone's being, that which cannot be seen with human eyes or understood with the human mind. Animals, plants, crystals, minerals, water, air, elementals, humans, nature spirits, as well as beings living on other planets are all in and of the one and same substance, one consciousness individually expressed. Individual consciousness still the one and only consciousness there is when conditioned with beliefs of good and evil, will manifest accordingly, for you are creators. There is only one mind, but in the human scene, that one mind has become filled with beliefs of duality and separation. This is the illusion. The vast riches of divine consciousness are unfathomable to most at this time. There can never be an end to divine ideas, for divine consciousness is infinite. The third-dimensional state of consciousness rests on the bottom rung of a very long ladder of which most intellectuals of the world are totally unaware. Some evolved souls try and speak of these things, but are more often than not relegated to being dreamers. This will change as more and more light enters the consensus consciousness of the world. There is an infinity of information, ideas, life-form expressions, and advanced ways of living and doing things awaiting your discovery. Scientists have been taught to accept only that which they can prove with three-dimensional tools, and those who do discover higher truths are often afraid to speak of them for fear of losing credibility within the scientific community. The old ways are dissolving, dear ones. Be prepared to be wowed by things you had no idea existed outside of fantasy, for divine consciousness is infinite in its expression, and you are that. You are that. As you rise above world concepts, you will begin to align more and more with the higher dimensional energies still unavailable to most at this time. As you resonate with the frequencies of the higher levels, you align with the vast spiritual fruits of those higher frequencies, intuition, ideas, unconditional love, and so much more. Evolution is an ongoing journey in which more is always given when ready. Life on Earth is like going to school. Some are in grade school, others in high school, many in college, and now a great many of you are becoming professors. There is no one right way to evolve. It is a process of discarding and moving beyond all that is not of truth. This cannot be done in one lifetime. Most of you have done the preliminary work through hundreds of lifetimes, and are ready now for the final push of clearing the remnants of old cellular memories and negative energy. Never be afraid to release those things in your life that no longer serve you. Let all that is old and finished go, not with a sense of anger, defeat, or failure, but with love and gratitude. Give thanks for the painful experiences of your lives, for without them you would not be where you are today. These experiences force one to dig deeper, grow, and move on and are always overseen by the higher self. This is evolution, an intellectual awareness followed by the practice, and then a gradual release of all that is false while replacing it with the truth until you become that unconditioned state of consciousness in which the Christ is born. All is well, all is proceeding according to plan if you allow it. If you allow it. We are the Arcturian Group.